And we are back. If you're just joining us, Microsoft got the Gamescom party started early this week with a new Xbox showcase, and so we are following that right now with some special pre-Gamescom episodes of Podcast Unlocked. One episode, 1 hour, and we are 10 minutes in, so welcome. If you're just joining us, you missed our initial thoughts at the top. You can go back and watch it later, of course, but for now, we're going to get into the good stuff. Forza Horizon 5 and cloud gaming on Xbox One. Let's start with Forza Horizon 5. The star of this thing, really the star overall of the entire Xbox year thus far, since we haven't seen a ton from Halo Infinite really throughout 2021 as of yet. Destin, Forza Horizon 5. I don't know how they do it at this point. And I say this every time Forza Horizon comes out. When 2 came out, I was like, this is incredible. And then 3 came out, and I was like, how are they going to top 2? And then they did. And then, especially when 4 came out, I was like, I don't know how they top 3. And 4 is still better. And here we go again. I'm saying the same thing. Forza Horizon 5, I don't know how they top 4, but 5 looks tremendous. What we just saw was awesome.
Heck yeah, it was. So they start at the highest point on the map. They start at the Grand Caldera Volcano. And as you can see, they jump off the edge of it and they start driving through the map. This is a great way to showcase the game, all the different biomes that you can explore, and tease the player the first time that they sign in. I do believe this is the opening race.
Yeah.
And again, coming to Xbox Game Pass, this game has been nothing short of a graphical powerhouse for the team. And for Xbox, everybody is talking about this thing. We posted some footage of the Supra a few weeks ago where they show car customization and some of the tweaking that you can do. And like, it's not even scratching the surface of everything that's going to be added. In this footage, we got to see a few of the vehicles that are being added to the game, including the cover car. And I am so stoked for Forza. I cannot wait to play this game. It looks stunning. Everything about it seems to be great. They're almost going into Fast and the Furious territory with these intros, and I love it. Lean into it. Have fun with it. That's what this series is about, right?
Yeah. So, Cam, before I let you talk about what I know you're dying to talk about, which is that sick controller, just give me some thoughts on the game itself first.
Yeah, I have to agree with Destin. Like, this game looks incredible, and I'm very particular. I've said it during the E3 showcase. Like, I'm very particular with my racing games. But this made me jump into Forza Horizon 4 when I saw it at E3, and I really enjoy it. And this looks like a significant step up, which is crazy, knowing that they made this in less time than they normally do, because normally a motorsport games comes out in between Horizons. But we know that motorsport's taking a break to work on a new technology. Yeah. And so this looks absolutely stunning, and just this is honestly a great trailer in general, just to show off what feels like the entire map, like the entire motorsport, like the Horizon experience, because there's just such a diversity in environments and landscapes in this game, and obviously the diversity in the cars, within just even watching earlier the Ford Bronco go down the mountain, it when it would go off jumps and land on the ground, it felt like there was weight to it. You could tell just by playing the game, you'll feel the weight of driving that vehicle, which is just so cool. And there's just so much variety, and seeing the cover car was awesome, because you got to get a sexy car in front of the cover of motors, like any Forza game, to attract those customers.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought up your experience with diving into 4, because of how sick the trailer looked for 5 at E3, because that's what I always like to tell people, because I feel like this has been changing with each successive Horizon game, but especially in the beginning, Forza had this reputation of being a hardcore simulation racer, which motorsport is, but Horizon, part of the reason I think it's amazing, I think it's the best car game, period, just any game that's primarily cars, of probably the last decade at this point, because it's incredibly approachable. It is not, you don't have to be like a hardcore racing game guy who's setting tire pressures in the game and doing all these different aerodynamic mods to your car and tuning the suspension. No, you just jump in and you drive around a beautiful world that's inspired by a real place, and you have a great time, and it's very social. It can be competitive, but it's not it's just like a very wholesome, beautiful thing, both online and off. And I've seen it. I've seen it with each successive motorsport. Excuse me, with now I'm doing it. With each successive Horizon, the player counts keep going up and up and up, and the word is getting out on this series that it is just an incredible thing to dive into, even if you're not a hardcore car guy, which I am, but not everybody is. And like the Bronco, if you are a car guy, the Bronco's like the hot car of 2021, and then they've got that killer AMG as their supercar. You got to have a supercar as well. So I just love seeing the continued success of this franchise, because it could not be more well-deserved. Playground is an amazingly talented group of people. I visited them back for Horizon 2, long time ago now. Okay. But all right, Cam, I've kept you. I've talked long enough about Horizon. So the other neat thing that we got in this presentation was a new limited edition Xbox controller, and I could almost hear you drooling.
Yes. Oh my God. Because the thing is, like, I'm not a big Forza guy, but I was just like, I'm always cool to look into a new limited edition controller. And when they showed that off with the translucent, like, I'm not even a big translucent guy, but it just pops. It's just, the yellow looks so good with like the neon pink and blue. It really is just a gorgeous controller. I would probably have just made everything that the grips white along with the back that's also white, just to make it all in unison.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like, that's my only real criticism. This is a very unique, diverse controller. I don't think we've seen a controller that like just feels really special since like maybe Sea of Thieves with the purple, the purple and the glow in the dark with the gold tooth.
Yes.
I didn't get that one, but I thought it was really cool. And this one, I was just like, man, because I just pre-ordered the Aqua Shift one, because that one looks really cool. That's a new special edition controller that they're dropping at the end of the month. But then I saw this, I'm like, I'm buying another controller. Though I do kind of wish that this is something that I hope that they do more moving forward, because Xbox really likes their special controllers. I want them to do more more Elite series special controllers. We got one for Gears of War a long time ago, and that was the only one we got. And I don't know if it's because like it's just harder to make, or if it didn't sell super well, or whatever it may be. But like, I hope that like,
how many controllers do you need?
Even if it was for like Halo Infinite, they just kind of took the plunge and be like, all right, here's a Halo Infinite controller. And even so, like, make it optional. Like, you can get the series version,
right,
or you can get a normal version, because options are great. And that's something that Xbox has been very much their main selling point for the past recent years, just having the options to do so. So I can't wait for this controller. I'm definitely going to pre-order it when the pre-orders go up. And man, looks great.
Yeah,
looks great.
And that's the kind of crazy custom controller that you can't do in the design studio, right? So that's, you gotta like, see, here's my design studio controller. I did an Xbox 360 replica. Well, there we go. Because I gotta dial it back to the 360 days. It makes me feel good when I look at this controller. It brings me back.
It's funny to hear you guys bring up the controllers, because it's sort of like people who collect sneakers to me. I know Alana used to collect controllers, and Cam, you collect them too, right? And I'm just like, I'll just take whatever comes in the box. That's fine. Or
and there's nothing
one
wrong
of the
with
elites,
that. Yeah.
or one of the elites.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, that controller does look good, though. I'll give you that.
So, and the other thing I want to talk about in this segment before we move on to Dying Light 2, that'll be our next big topic. But I think the secret, possibly best thing, I mean, this was previously announced, it's not a totally new thing, but the segment on cloud gaming on the console. Destin, this is
huge.
A big deal.
Yeah, so basically what it means is that anybody with an original Xbox One, the console that came out 8 years ago, is going to be able to run Xbox Series X games via the cloud, running on Xbox Series X hardware. So you're going to be able to play Flight Simulator on your old console. You're going to be able to play Forza Horizon 5 on your console. I guess you can play Halo Infinite if you choose to, even though that will also be coming out on the original console. It's a really smart way to integrate the cloud technology to sort of have that gap, but still support those legacy consoles like they sort of they said they would be doing into the future. So I'm really happy to see this. I go to xbox.com/play all the time to do my reward challenges for the week, and it's really, really great. If you just want to hop in for a few minutes and play something, I love the cloud services. They're available already on PC and mobile. So try it out if you want.
Yeah, it really just is. It's a competitive advantage at this point over Sony. Not to make it a console war thing, but it's just such a great thing, particularly given the fact that the Series X and Series S continue to be in such high demand and short supply. There are so many gamers out there, probably plenty watching this and listening to us right now, that are actively wanting to get their hands on a new Xbox, but have been unable to do so because the supply has not been able to keep up with the demand. And so, you've got Flight Simulator out now on console. It's also, yes, it's been out for a year on PC, but you need a pretty healthy PC to run it. So this holiday, when cloud gaming on console rolls out, those people will be able to just fire up Flight Simulator right on their Xbox One and get, pretty close to Series X fidelity. Obviously, you might lose a little something in the translation. Cloud is never going to be as good as it running directly off of a box in your living room, but It's just really, really great to see this. And I think it's going to be a real advantage for Microsoft in all of 2022 as well, because that's when we're going to start to see more next-gen exclusives. Flight Simulator was the first of the first-party games to be a total next-gen exclusive, but we're expecting more of those. Redfall in 2022 as well. Plus there's a mile-long list of things that don't quite have a release date yet. But it's great to see. Cam, have you been able to spend any time with cloud stuff as of yet? Obviously on your mobile device, it's not on the console quite yet.
Yeah, like cloud is awesome. The option that's there is fantastic. I don't really do it much because if I would use it, I would use it with mobile, and I just don't really play it on my phone. That's just not how I want to experience games. But one of the things that I also think that we should put in perspective about Xbox One being able to play next gen game or current gen games, you'd say on last gen hardware, is that developers don't have to worry about developing games for Xbox One anymore.
Great point.
They can, and also for those that have, that for some reason have an Xbox One, whether it be a OG Xbox One, an S or an X, but they just for whatever reason in their lives they can't get an Xbox Series X or S due to financials. This will be able to help them carry over through this next gen. If say hypothetically, worst case scenario, they have their last gen console, but they can't get a next gen console throughout its lifespan. Doesn't matter. If you got Xbox Games Pass Ultimate,
right.
You got cloud gaming, and you can play a lot of the games, and that's really, really great.
The best part about it for me, honestly, is the ability to just say, hey, I want to check out this game, but I don't want to wait to install it.
Or just download it with your monthly bandwidth cap, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So you stream it for a little bit over on xbox.com/play. You get an impression of it, and then you're like, I want to play this on my console. I don't want to deal with the latency. It's going to bridge the gap for people waiting for a console, just like you said, Ryan, or just saving up to get that next gen experience with the Xbox Series S or X consoles. And it's something that is only available for Xbox.
Yeah. And forget about the xbox.com/play this fall. Be able to do it right on the console, which is even better.
Yep.
All right. We need to take another short break, but there is a lot more Unlocked Live still to come. And it's only the very beginning of our Gamescom coverage this week right here on IGN, so stick around. I'll be right back.